Welcome to another episode of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh, on this NPC Live, and we're going to be talking all about Super Mario Brothers Wonder. And the question that I've asked is this the Mario game you want? Is this the Mario game you were hoping we would get? I'm going to change up the camera view here so we can just watch the gameplay over and over again. Now, I will say this. The moment Mario showed up, the moment they showed that tuba flower or whatever it is, I was like, this is it. This is what I pictured in my mind. If you guys were in the live stream to see my reaction, it's what I said. This is what I wanted from New Super Mario Brothers. The New Super Mario Brothers somewhat felt phoned in. This seems like a Nintendo game, or like it has the Nintendo's quality seal, if you will. Now, what are some of the reasons for me that this is the Mario game I want? Do I love the weirdness that the Wonder brings? I'm not completely sold on it right off the bat, but looking at some of these levels when everything's not wonderfied or whatever, I love it. This looks exactly like the kind of Mario game I've been wanting to play since Super Mario World back on the Super Nintendo. And the other thing is, I'm keeping an open mind for all this Wonder stuff. And I think it's going to end up adding, cool elements to the story. I think it's gonna add to the story overall. Now, what are some of the things that I said right off the bat when this game, if this game was real, that I wanted to be able to mess with the foreground and the background, and guess what? That is happening. I'm gonna rewind just a little bit. If you guys are, if you're watching with me, whether on YouTube or on Spotify or whatever, you're going to see there is a point where Peach comes out of the yellow pipe and she's in the foreground while the other characters are in the background. And I love this. I love this. I see Nostalgic Gamers in the chat. Becca's in the chat. Hello, welcome. Nostalgic Game Sounds says, no Link to the Past remake. Sad face. But we are asking the question, is Super Mario Brothers Wonder the Mario game you were hoping for? Let me know, guys. I want to hear from you guys in the chat. If you're, whether you're on TikTok or you're on Twitch or YouTube, let me know. Is this what you were hoping for? Again, the things that are really drawing me in, the artwork. This thing looks like a painting. Look at that background. That background is amazing. And there's multiple levels to the background. It's not just like, oh, background and then gameplay, right? You're seeing castles way in the background. Even, I mean, if you really kind of just scope out everything that's going on the screen right now, the different layers of clouds, the way, like, everything looks like a watercolor painting almost. And Nostalgic Game Sound says, yeah, I think it looks cool and it looks visually pleasing, good for streaming. So there you go. That's another bonus for sure. Great for streaming. Is it going to have online? I don't know. I hope so. I think it would be great if we could get 4 people playing together, and as long as it works, right? We're looking at you, Mario Maker, and having to ask that question. Now, as more people jump in, we'll have more people answer that question. Let's talk about what are we collecting in this game? We can see that there are purple coins and there are regular coins. Okay, what do these purple coins represent? We know what gold coins have always represented. They represent 100 is an extra life. That's probably not going to change, right? But what are these purple coins? Wonder coins, if you will. That's what we're gonna call them right now. So Maybe Ned says, I'm only buying this game for the elephant power up. So there you go. That was enough. That was enough for maybe Ned. Becca says this game can take all my money. There we go. I love it. I love it. I mean, a big thing for me that I want to see from this game is what are some of the power ups? Like, there's a wonder seed, okay, and what does that do? Does that change things back to like normal? Or I said early on, if we get a 2D Mario, I want to be able to have well, I think we talked about it on the main show. I want to be able to have multiple exits. Is there going to be a wonder exit and a normal exit for each of the levels? That's something I kind of wonder about. I wonder about. Oh my goodness, we're going to be saying that a lot. There's going to be a lot of corny puns. I have a feeling. But like you can see if you're watching with us here, like there's a moment coming up. Also, I want to point out I love Peach's Mario hat, but right there, they hit a power up that changed the level into like a wonder level, if you will. That's just what we're gonna call it. But I think within these wonder levels, it's almost like we're changing dimensions. It's almost like there are different dimensions in this game, and that I mean that could potentially mean that each level is two levels in one. And I just thought about something. Crawler and I may be out of town when this game launches. I have to check, but I think there's a very real possibility that we're going to be out of town, but together. So that'll be cool. I think I got to look at my dates. Oh no. Oh no. So let's see. Nostalgic Game Sound says I hated the cat power up. Interesting. I liked it a lot. I thought it was great. I was glad to see it in the movie. Um Nostalgic Game Sound says they finally did it. Mario on shrooms. That is hilarious. So, and that's I mean, that's a lot of people. The reason for today's show, and I'm going to get him on to talk about it. But I talked with Hate Zero, and he was like, I don't know how I feel about this Mario game on acid, and I was surprised to hear that, honestly, because as I know he's such a big fan of 2D Mario's. I almost wonder if this one got a little bit too weird for him. But I'm kind of here for it. Like I don't like this is kind of Nintendo getting really creative. And the more I'm like, I just have the trailer on repeat. So if you guys aren't watching, you're just listening after the fact. Like the trailer's just on repeat, and the more I watch it, the more I'm kind of looking forward to just getting weird. Like it also makes me really really wonder about this storyline. We've seen a handful of little characters like that kind of show up at the so he grabbing the wonder seed right there. Sorry, I'm watching live, but grabbing the wonder seed changed it back to a normal, like the normal level. But these little characters in the at the like the end of the level, and on the box art there's actually one hanging on Luigi. It's like these little like worms or kind of bug characters. We can also see them kind of in the overworld as well. So Bowser has got to, or else Bowser Jr., because we do see Bowser Jr. in this trailer. You can see it when Mario throws fireballs at him. It's clearly Bowser Jr. based on his ponytail, his eyebrows, and the his bracelets. And right here you can see him, and his bandana has basically turned into teeth. So, are we gonna see like are Bowser and Bowser Jr. up to no good messing with Wonder? And what does that mean exactly? And the other thing is are the other Koopalings involved? That's what I really hope. I really hope that the other Koopalings are involved. But what about you guys in chat? What do you hope to see from this game that was missing? Right? Like I think this elephant power up is cool, and there's a fountain right there. So is it going to be like flood? Is it going to what do we do with the elephant? What are the power ups of the elephant? Is he going to be able to spray water? Because he just punted that Goomba like it was nothing. But what's the purpose? what is the what is the purpose of the elephant? Servant says, compare the character designs from this to Super Mario RPG, and I'm seeing new engine build for Nintendo. Potentially, that's very possible. You know, the artwork for like Chonky Mario is very similar. I want to say this, and I want to make a TikTok about it as well. But like one of the things that I've noticed that really gets me the happiest is when Mario jumps. His normal jump is almost identical, if not identical, to the box art of Super Mario Brothers 2. Albeit he's not holding the radish or whatever. It is it is exactly the Mario that I've always envisioned playing since I was a little kid. And I think that's what one of the aspects that just gets me so excited about it is that like, yo, we're essentially playing box art Mario at this point. And that's pretty amazing, you know? I really, really like that. I want to point out on screen we're seeing Mario as a spike ball, and I launched or released a TikTok about that today. And what does that mean? What does that mean? Does that mean that there's going to be certain power ups that we just completely change into like an object? And is that a power up that we're going to see more than once? Is it level specific? Does that mean it's kind of taking a page out of Odyssey's book, and you can just essentially turn into different items that you need to turn into, and even Galaxy in a way to be able to complete certain levels? I think it's worth noting too, while we were watching that stampede take place, is they took out they take out the flag. Well, that tells me that there's probably multiple exits, because the flag would typically need to be used in order to exit. So kind of leaning into my theory that we're getting multiple exits for each level. Also, what is that Mario box? What is what? There's just a box that just shows up and shows the M. What is that? What does that thing do? You know, and they show us this stuff for a reason, right? They want us to pick it apart. And I want to know, was it a checkpoint? It could be. I'm going to get to the chat real quick. We got a lot. We got a lot here. Servant says, I think Elephant Mario is going to have some Mario Sunshine skills. So do you think there's going to be something that we need to clean? We're seeing an awful lot of water, which makes me wonder if it's not tied to it in some case, and you can kind of fill your trunk and use it as a way to push or move enemies. Cryptic says, the overworld seems very Mario 3D world like. I just want confirmation that it doesn't play like Super Mario Brothers. Was not a fan of how floaty it was. Excited for more previews to come out. To me, this game, it does look a bit floaty. I don't think that means it won't be tight. And it's interesting to hear people talk about, like, because Crawler mentioned the floatiness of the new Super Mario Brothers games as well, but I never felt like it took away from the overall precision of those games. It wouldn't surprise me. I know Servant was mentioning engine earlier, but it wouldn't surprise me if this was on a similar engine, in which case it will feel a little bit floaty, but hopefully the gameplay just works and it's not going to be too much of an issue for people. Maybe Ned says, I think the elephant will do very powerful ground pounds. I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. I like it. Servant says, I'm going to say this. Nintendo is giving us the game that I didn't even know how to fully explain what I wanted. So excited. That's a really good way of putting that. It really is, because I think when I think about Mario games and I want to capture that nostalgia from the good old days, if you will, I think doing that, in some ways you end up with games like the new Super Mario Brothers, where there's not a lot of innovation, there's not a lot of Nintendo getting weird. It doesn't get any weirder than this. You know, you got Koopas on skates just skating around. I mean, I love it. The amount of detail in Mario's face. I did some slow motion TikToks and stuff of different parts of this trailer. the facial expressions Mario makes. He looks at enemies as he's running by them. Like that, it adds to a level of immersion that I think is absolutely fantastic. I think is great, and it's really what I wanted. That little jump kick that he does just looks like the cover of Super Mario Brothers 2, and I'm so excited. Like I feel like I'm smiling like I did when I was finishing up Mario Odyssey, just because I love it. Here's that part where they're stampeding and they take the flag out. That means they're taking us to a second exit. There's no question there. There is a second exit. So that's going to be something that's super cool with these games. Do you stop the wonder by grabbing a wonder seed and finish it one way? You know, in some levels it shows there's two wonder seeds. Why are we collecting those? What does that have to do with the gameplay and fully completing levels? The overworld looks super cool. We saw a bunch of different variety when it comes to uh the the way these worlds look. And honestly, the best parts of New Super Mario Bros. U was the level that looked like the Picasso painting. And honestly, this game captures that. Like you can almost get a taste of Super Mario Wonder from that area. In fact, I'm gonna play up through those levels again, and we're gonna do a few comparisons to see if we can't see where some of the inspiration may have come from, because it really looks like we're playing a painting at times, and I love that. Retro Video Gamer says, I'm very happy with the Mario games. I already pre-ordered RPG and Wonder. Super happy. Love that. That is fantastic. And eh, Stephen Lilly says, I am loving Mario Fan. LOL. That's fantastic. That's great. Nostalgic Game Sound says they had a mechanic in Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga where you fill up Mario with water and then walk him into a place and spit it out. Hey, well, there you go. Maybe they're kind of leaning into that. Yeah, so it says Nostalgic Game Sound says so it might be similar to that. And maybe Ned asked the question, what do you mean by a floaty? Well, Ned, if you hop onto your Switch and you go to Nintendo Switch Online and you play Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 2, Super Mario Brothers 3, or Super Mario World, there is this is what I find interesting. And honestly, the tightest playing Mario game is Maker. If you go back to Super Mario World, it actually surprises me a little bit on how I think the term floaty would kind of come from like Mario maybe not feeling heavy enough, right? I think that's kind of the way I would look at floaty. And so that might be the case where it just it feels like you can't be quite as precise as you would like to be, potentially. And so you could kind of, if you have new Super Mario Bros on any of the systems, or or Super Mario Bros U on the Switch, go and play like World and then go and play U. And it might be a good test for anybody that's talking about the floatiness. Go and check them out. I actually was a little bit surprised. I've played some Super Mario World lately, or recently, and it kind of surprised me with its floatiness a little bit, because I think Mario Maker is like that precision gameplay that we want from a Mario game. And there might be a little bit of floatiness to this one. At the end of that little scene there, they throw the Wonder Seed, and then there's a little green like caterpillar that you can see is connected to it. I'm curious on who these characters are, right? So it looks like some kind of weird looking toad comes out, and then that little green caterpillar, which is on the back of Luigi's legs in on the box art. So it's interesting. Okay. Car Gaming 21 says, I'm beyond excited for this game, as am I. Servant says, the font is very Super Mario Brothers adjacent and not New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, Switch, 3DS XL, new. And that gives me hope. They seem to, it seems to me that they somewhat distance themselves from the new name on this one. And I like it. There's an element of just kind of nostalgia to the title, as well as like kind of a hint of newness as well. And I like it. Nate says, this is what I want. I'm as happy as I can be. Okay. Well, I don't. Is that actually Nate, or did somebody steal his phone? Like, that's really good to see. Kyle says, I love the way this game expanded into areas that we haven't seen yet. Yeah, it's almost like the wonder is literally another dimension. Like we are going into other dimensions with this game, and the dimensions take place within the levels. And so I am my theory is that each level will have a minimum of 2 exits. And that's based on what we can see from the trailer here with the that stampede that just takes out the flag. Like, because of that taking place and how the Wonder Seed changes it back to the normal gameplay, I believe that if you finish if Mario were to finish this level right now with the wonder activated, it may only be one of the exits. And honestly, I think we're scratching the surface with how far the wonder takes us. I don't think they've shown us hardly anything yet. I think it's gonna feel like we're playing a dream, and that also gets me very excited. Servant says maybe we need the wonder seed for the wonder wall, not a water fountain, but an oasis. Like, get it? Oasis, wonder wall. I don't understand. I want to get it, but I don't know. I'm just playing. That's good. That's good. Well done. Well done. Okay, Nate says characters seem a little smaller on screen than normal, or is it just me? They so I don't think you're wrong. I think it's a design choice based on fitting 4 players at once, right? The larger the screen, that the characters would need to shrink a little bit to give more room for the game, because it's a little bit tricky getting 4 players playing all at the same time. That can be it. I don't know if you guys have experienced it, but doing 4 players on any of the new Super Mario Brothers games is hectic. It is hectic. So I can see that being the case. Also, as we've noticed with some of the other the one section here where Peach comes out of the yellow pipe and is in the foreground, like that that makes sense that the character models would have to change a little bit based on some of the gameplay choices. And so, but I'm like some or the design choices, and I'm so here for it. I am so here for it. I think this game looks just stunning. Just stunning. I love the detail of that character running. I need to make a TikTok on that one, of just his face where he's running from the shell, just looking terrified. Like, there's so much life in this game. I do find it interesting too. At the bottom of the screen, it says additional accessories may be needed for multiplayer. And I'm sure they're just talking about controllers, but it's like additional accessories may be required for multiplayer modes sold separately. That's such a that's such a vague sentence. Like, are they like, what do they got planned? Why not just say, extra Joy-Cons or extra controllers? It's a weird choice. And I mean, a fun thing to speculate too, guys. Are we going to see an exclusive Switch for this game? Are we going to finally see the OLED Switch that we deserve for Mario? Not some just salmon red colored Switch, but like, can you imagine look at the color scheme right here. Look at that color scheme. A Switch with those colored Joy-Cons and maybe all white around an all white Switch with the blue and the red, like kind of pastel looking. Ooh, gets me excited thinking about it, honestly. So keeping going with the comments here. You guys are keeping this one going. Thank you so much for that. Let's see. Servant says Super Mario World was perfect on SNES with actual wired controllers. I mean, not wrong. Oh, I see. Floaty equals Bluetooth, and that's in the input lag, and that's a great point. It may be worth testing. Like, if you guys have a SNES Classic, play Super Mario World on that. I'll do it. In fact, I will fire it up today, and we'll adjust. We will address the floatiness of Mario games, and the wired versus not. I'll even hook up my actual Super Nintendo and try it. So, Nate says, let me retype that. Do the characters seem a little bit smaller on screen, or is it? No, I got it. I got you. Cryptic says, do they add this style to Mario Maker 2? Mario Maker 3. I firmly believe that Mario Maker 3 is is and has been in development since they basically sunset Mario Maker 2, because I know it's there is a very there's a community there, and Nintendo knows it will sell, and having the wonder aspect to Mario Maker, fantastic. But it's going to be a whole new game on the next system, and fingers crossed they really knock it out of the park with the next one. Like that community, in my opinion, deserves the 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 Mario Maker game that they want. That and I hope that becomes the I hope that's the case on the next Nintendo console. Let's see here. Um, Servant says the hat animations are my favorite part and make the levels feel more alive. Just watching Mario seem more a part of it all. Exactly. I mean, I don't know if you guys were if you watch here when Peach is chasing this Peach is chasing the character, the enemy on screen with the shell. You can see her celebrate when the shell takes out the character. Like she kind of does a little fist bump, almost like, yeah, got him, like that. It's what we saw in Luigi's Mansion, where Luigi felt like he was actually in the game, not just kind of a separate object being controlled, but like literally screaming and being scared at at times. And I do find it interesting too, guys. Those purple coins. Do you see how there's a decimal point? You're only collecting just small pieces. It's at 128.4. I find that to be a little bit strange. But as we see Peach on screen here, I think it's coming right up. Maybe I didn't go back far enough. I thought I did, but you can kind of just see right here. Watch, it zooms in on her. She kind of, I mean, now that could have just been also the jump, because Toad did the same thing, but still, just those extra little animations they're adding really just I mean, it adds to the overall immersion. It makes you feel like you're participating in a cartoon versus just playing a game. And they look like they're having fun. The smiles on their faces and everything, that just, it adds to it overall, and I love that. I love that. So maybe Ned said this game looks like it's inspired by Rayman Legends, but possibly. Nostalgic Game Sound says I'm getting Loco Roco vibes from this game. Okay, there we go. Not a game I'm familiar with, but I'm here for it. Servant says by the quality you can just tell the pipes are MK10S suit. Okay, get out of here. Get out of here. That you are, why you gotta troll me like that? All right. Let's see. It says it's from Josh one. It looks like Joshua one. It says I'm sold on the character animations alone. Reminds me of how much animation they put into Samus in Dread. Yes, love that. Kyle says justice for Mario Wonder style OLED. Yes, bring it on. You guys, I can't even keep up. There's so many comments. Services would definitely want a Wonder Switch for the holiday. We're definitely getting one for the holiday. Nate, servant let Nate know that I am fluent in reading Nady Nay. There we go. Becca says I can't wait for this game. Loves how the world map looks. Spare Change says this game looks incredible. Agreed. Cryptic says I can't get over how expressive they made this game feel. It's truly getting more and more like a Pixar movie, and it absolutely is. And I mean, if you guys think about Super Mario World, that jump from like the hat just kind of pulling off of Mario while he's in the air, and Mario turning to the camera and throwing up the peace sign, like it was those subtle things that even all the way back then just added to the overall immersion and the game. And this, to me, this game feels like it really has become a sequel to Super Mario World, just from what we're seeing from this short, like less than 3-minute trailer. That's what it feels like to me. Like the new Super Mario Brothers games were great, but they missed just a little bit of the magic that I feel like we're seeing in this game here. Let's see. Moving on. Servant says the wonder is Underworld of Pikmin 4, we whoa. The Wonder is the underworld of Pikmin 4, and we get Pikmin in the background. There you go. I'd love to see that little bit of a crossover here. Spare Chain says, I want to play the new Peach game. Yeah, we're gonna do a whole show just kind of speculating on what that is. There's not a lot from the trailer, so it'll be interesting. Yo, I see a bunch of people over on TikTok as well. Welcome on in, guys. I'm trying to read all these chats, and it's a little bit crazy, but so glad you guys are here. And let's see here. Nate says, I feel like there needs to be something after Wonder. Okay. All right. Fair. And if you guys want your comments read on stream, head over to Twitch or YouTube. Just look for N64Josh if you're on TikTok, and I'll be able to throw your comments up on screen as well. Spare Chain says, I love how the flowers talk to you when you walk by. I do as well. And I wonder, like, is Bowser back up to his back at his black magic, and has he turned some of these characters, were they once toads like the original game and they got turned into blocks? Like, are we going to be changing a whole race back into something else that Bowser or Bowser Jr. messed with? I'm just curious. Evan 64 says the visuals remind me of 3D World and Galaxy. I could agree with that. And Servant says the Wonder Flower looks like Peach's blue flower from the wedding scene in the movie. Well, that's the ice flower from the new Super Mario Brothers games. So it definitely looks similar. No doubt there. Nate says, I'm definitely waiting to see if the music from this game is capable of being embedded like 2 or 3. That's yes, I know exactly what you mean. There are very few times that I'm not humming like Super Mario Brothers 2 theme. Like it's often in my head. It is often in my head. So that I hope is the case. And I mean, from the moment they showed this game and the music started and it was a cappella, similar to what they did like in the a cappella levels on Sunshine, that was a hook for me. Like that got its hooks in me quickly and got me excited. So after Wonder, what are those? S levels? Possibly Spare Change. Cryptic says, what gets me excited is that I'm assuming these trailer is the trailer is based on main campaign worlds. Imagine the creativity and challenge of like Star Road or Special Road. Exactly. I don't even think we're scratching the surface yet. I think they have something very special here, and they're only showing us very little. Cannot wait to get more info. So excited that it's coming out in October. You guys, we're really just a few months away. It's not going to be long before we're playing it. I think one thing worth noting is that Yoshi's a playable character. So does that mean we won't see we won't see just Yoshi as rideable if we're playing by ourselves? There were 4 Yoshis there. What is the menu like? Do we get to choose like the character we want to play as, or is it level specific? Is there going to be quite a list? Is there, there's a very real possibility. Like I saw somebody, like I've got videos going viral right now on TikTok with just kind of doing some of the slow-mo, looking into the animation and everything. And people are talking about like, yo, Daisy's in this game. Does that mean we can get Wario and Waluigi? We don't know. I think there's a very real possibility that like we could see multiple characters. We could see Rosalina make her way here. We could see Donkey Kong. Honestly, I don't see why we couldn't at this point. And we've only just seen a little bit. So there's so many things that could be added to this, or surprises that we can just basically anticipate and expect, because I don't think we've seen much at all in this 3 minutes. So Spare Change says Yoshi riding Yoshi. Absolutely. Cryptic here says, crazy that we have Mario but Super Mario RPG a few weeks later. It's going to be a great holiday season. You guys, and Sonic, right? Like, I feel like a kid in the 90s again with the way we are getting uh with the way we are getting Sonic, 2D Mario, Mario RPG. Like, it's going to be an incredible holiday season. I could not be more excited. And also Pokemon DLC, right? Like, it's a good year for Nintendo gamers. No question. Spare Chain says Fireflower DK was peak in the movie. I loved it. And Servant says, forget Smash. We want Gino in Wonder. I love it. Well, there you go, guys. Thank you so much for helping me answer the question. Is this the Mario game that we wanted? And I think we could say yes. I think we can. So stay tuned. We'll be live tomorrow around 9:30 for Nintendo News Minute, and then 10 for MPC Live. I can't wait to hang with you guys again. I appreciate everybody that has been showing up to the live streams, whether you're on TikTok, YouTube, or Twitch, and also going to be heading over to Kick. So if you guys want to follow me over there, the channel is set up, and I appreciate you all so very much. Remember, you can get ad-free episodes by subscribing on Apple or Spotify, and we will see you guys in the next one. Bye, everybody.